You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Welcome into another great edition of Behind the Bulldogs. Brandon Worth, Tatum Outlaw here with you. It is a football episode here today, ahead of the spring game, the national championship celebration and parade. It's good to be back. Good to be back in the chairs here. Late week episode ahead of what's going to be a very, very busy next week here for Bulldog Country.
Yeah, we've got a lot of exciting and fun things to look forward to. Kind of sad, like the school year is coming to a close, but like you said, we have football on, so it's cool to hear from them and their spring game coming up and just see how they've been doing after their fourth national championship. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible stuff. And we'll obviously talk to them here in a minute with Mason and Charlie on that experience ahead. Yeah. But first, let's get into the Ferris State Sports Recap, everything that happened this past week in Bulldog Athletics. First, shout out Cameron Shannon, shout out for winning GLIAC Golfer of the Week. So congratulations to her. Ava Gardner as well. I don't know if we mentioned it on last show, but it's worth mentioning twice, even if we did. Right now, national player to watch in Division II softball. So that's very exciting for her in her first season.
She's a fellow podcast friend, right?
She is a fellow podcast friend. Find that in the feed wherever you found this show. The Lakers and the Bulldogs squared off in tennis. Of course, Bulldogs get the sweep 6-1 for the women, 7-0 for the men. They also won against Purdue Northwest 6-1 and 6-1 for men's and women's. Easy scores to remember. Bulldogs softball. Massive sweep over the Lakers of Grand Valley State. 6-5, 7-5, both games down to the wire. Dramatics, walk-off in game one, a game-leading home run by Emma Gillard in game two. And not only that, Coach Schumann, 600th win as a career head coach. Very, very fabulous day and a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you summed it up there. I mean, it was a great game. Super close. I love when softball games like that are just like a nail-biter, but it was nice to see us come out on top.
100%. Track and field. I had to fact check this. 52 top 8 finishes at the Chippewa Open. Now, of course, it is a smaller meet in nature, but the Bulldogs still took care of business nonetheless. Alexis Lee, runner-up in the women's high jump there. Congrats to her. Maddie Biller, second in the hammer throw. Olivia Denend in the 3K, finished in the third overall position. Lizzie Haynes, second in the 400 meters. And you can find all these results online, ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Men's side, Trevor Smith wins the 100 at a 10.8. Jared Watchhorn wins the 800 meters at a 156 there in the 800. Tyrese Beadle, fourth in the 400. Andrew Shafley, third place in the 1500 meters, as well as Ben Knuth, the runner-up in the 5K. Hunter Richardson, third in shot and disc. So congratulations to those results. Obviously more at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Stunt closes out their historic inaugural season. 2 wins against Quincy and Central Michigan as well. Great job for the cause, right? And that was certainly a big thing for the event, being able to raise some funds. And I think that's a really big thing just to see the impact that Stunt has had already in year one.
Yeah, I mean, I second that. I just echo it. It's so, I say this like every episode, but it's just so amazing. They've had like a great first inaugural season, and I just keep saying it. I'm just really excited to see what they can do moving forward. I know they already are planning for the next season and all the exciting things they're going to do, the people they're going to bring in. So it'll be cool to keep up with.
Absolutely. Cameron Shannon finishes as an individual runner-up there in the UMSL Spring Invite. Women's golf placing third ahead of their GLIAC championships. The men's are already underway. As of day one, third in the field, trailing Grand Valley and Davenport. So we'll see them finish out here the rest of the week. You can follow along on GolfStat via ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Also, big shout out, Caden Blanchard, Maya Hiram, selected as Spring Commissioners Award recipients, or not actually winter, right? I think it's the winter recap.
Yeah.
I already have my seasons mixed up because I feel like it's summer with the weather outside.
They posted it kind of late though too.
Yes, of course. So those guys, obviously, or those gals, I should say, Winter Commissioner Award. So congratulations to them. And also congratulations and welcome to the Miller family. Head coach Brooks Miller, men's basketball coach, introduced this week. Got to meet him. Very excited for Bulldog Country. I think we got ourselves a winner.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we got a lot of good wins and a winner within the last week. So hopefully we can keep those good vibes going into this next week.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe, have him in the chair next to us. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll have to wait and see. So we'll wait and see. We got a lot of interviews to go to, including one right now. Mason Dykstra and Charlie Spencer joining us here. Let's send you to the interview room. Now joining us here in the interview room, we have two very special guests here with us today from Ferris State Football ahead of the spring game. Charlie, Mason, guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
It's obviously an exciting time here for you guys. Spring game, the national championship parade around the corner next week as we're recording this. Just talk about what it feels like to be back on the field and prepping for another season upcoming here in the fall 2026.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's a really exciting time. You know, the weather's getting better. Football is coming to an end. Summer's getting around the corner. You know, you got the dog show, the spring game, the parade. A lot to look forward to for student athletes right now.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, spring ball, getting to see a lot of the young guys get out there and get a chance to prove themselves. And then, obviously we have our group of established guys that are out there and they look really good too. So it's been a good time so far. And yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you mentioned the young guys and that was you guys at one point. So how has the game changed for you guys now that you guys are leading the rest of the team and you guys are the older guys now?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to step into a different kind of role. I've been hurt this spring, so it's been fun to kind of help out the younger quarterbacks and kind of be a mentor to them and then help out in whatever way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot more people have been looking up to me, and I feel like I've stepped into a much bigger, more leadership role off the field. Maybe not so much on the field because of, I don't play too much sometimes. So I just, like to help out people, keep the energy high at practice, and just make sure everyone's having a good time and working hard.
Absolutely. For a lot of our casual fans, obviously our hardcores know more about you than you probably know. But for all the casual fans that are learning about you, talk about your position that you play as well as why you chose that originally growing up, or if it was chosen for you by a coach.
So I play tight end. I feel like my build is more built for a tight end. I'm not too fast, but I'm also not too small, so I can block people and then I can also run routes and get open. So I feel like that's kind of how I got put into this role, and then it just helps out the team the best for us to succeed. So that's why.
Yeah, we've seen you wreck some guys out on the field for sure. So Charlie, how about you?
Yeah, I play quarterback, and I've pretty much started since flag football when I was 6 years old. So it's kind of all I've ever known to play quarterback. Yeah.
For sure. Do you feel like you're more of a gunslinger or a mobile guy?
Definitely mobile guy too. I'd say I'm a dual threat for sure. As
Tony and Ace love so much.
Yeah.
What other sports did you guys play growing up, and when did you kind of know that football was something you wanted to pursue in college?
I kind of played all sports growing up. Basketball, football, baseball, a little bit of hockey, tennis. So I kind of just...
You literally played everything.
Everything pretty much.
Yeah, my mom wanted me to get into sports and be good at it. So that's kind of how I got put into it. And then I kind of just loved it too. I loved competing every day. So sometimes it's hard to compete when we don't have any games other than some spring sports in the fall.
Yeah.
In the spring.
Yeah, right on. What position did you play in hockey, if I may ask? Just out of curiosity.
I honestly don't remember. This was in third or fourth grade, but I remember I was pretty good. So
okay,
that's really it.
Okay, all right. Charlie, how about you? What sports?
Yeah, I also played a little bit of everything growing up. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis. A lot. But then as I got older, high school, I just played football and basketball, and I was kind of deciding between those two sports for college but I was always better at football, so I kind of just ended up going with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I always ask this because I think it's just fun to hear. If you guys could play any sport in college, at the highest level and be a star at it, it doesn't matter, you're going to be really good at it, what sport would you pick?
Golf, for sure.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Why is that? Why golf?
Golf, I mean, it's addicting, honestly. It's been I started playing in college and it's my favorite activity to do. Once it's warm out, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Mason, how about you?
Yeah, I think that golf's a good answer, but I think I would stay loyal with football.
Okay, besides football.
It can't be football. Let's just say
besides football. It's a perfect world. You can be a star athlete at any sport, any level.
But football is off limits.
Okay, then definitely basketball. There's just something different about packed gyms or packed football arenas that just gets me so excited. If you hear the roar of the crowd after a big dunk, that's just something that really I look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, high momentum, high energy, emotion. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Now, for both of you guys, what's your kind of origin story with the game of football, and obviously the recruitment process that led you from high school to right here in Big Rapids playing for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I've been playing football ever since, as long as I can remember, really. Started with flag football when I was just a little kid. And then, went to tackle in like 4th grade or something like that. I've been playing my whole life. And then to get here, I'm from California, but my mom's from Michigan. So I got a lot of family out here, some family that have went to Ferris. So that's kind of how I've heard about it. And then I initially started reaching out to Coach Anise and then, got him to watch my film. And then that's how I got recruited here.
Wonderful. Mason, how about you?
Yeah, my football journey started in Hudsonville. I kind of just got thrown into it at a young age, maybe like 1st grade, and then just stuck with it because I loved it so much. I kind of like had a position change in high school so that I could get help to get recruited more here for Ferris. So I played O-line originally, and then I got switched to tight end because I was too small. And then I'm also athletic enough to play tight end at the college level, I think. So then junior year, I wasn't getting recruited too much in the football season. And then I had a good basketball game and got an interview after the game. And they were like, hey, so what do you want to do after college or after high school? And then I said, I wanted to play football at Ferris. And then that kind of got the ball rolling. Coach Anise saw the interview, reached out. And then I've kind of just been on the radar since. And then when it was time to commit, I just committed here. And it's been a dream ever since.
Very direct journey for sure.
Love that story. Another fun question I always ask is, do you guys have any like pregame superstitions or like during the game superstitions? Is there like, it could be like food that you're eating that's like the same every time, or you got to like tie your shoes a certain way? Like, do you have anything that you just find yourself like having to do on game day?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a superstitious person at all. Like our head coach, TA is the most superstitious person ever. He does the same exact things every day. But yeah, I don't know. It's never really been my thing.
Nothing? Not a song or anything? Like,
no, it's just however I'm feeling, I guess.
Okay.
All right. How about music? Is there specific music for the playlist? The Bulldog Walk from where you guys go from the locker rooms to the field, or anything in pregame warmups that you got to listen to?
Just, something to hype me up. Probably rap, right? Just to get me the energy.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Definitely rap music. But some things that I do to like not really be superstitious, but what I would do on game day is like, I really like dapping up my teammates and making sure that they're in the right mindset for the game. I think that has a big like, a tribute to how we'll play. Maybe if it doesn't, but it helps my mind be right before the game. And then, just the Bulldog Walk and everything that we do before the game, like as a team, is kind of superstitious enough. And then the prayer we say right before we go out, it's definitely just like something that gets our mind right and us believing that we're going to win the game every time. So those are some things.
Yeah, very special moment. Now, I know this is probably going to be a hard question because you obviously have some great memories, including in Texas, but is there a key memory that you're never going to forget as a Ferris State football player? I know a national championship is pretty hard to top, but is there any other ones on the list, a specific play, specific game, specific, anything that maybe some people didn't know about for you in a big performance?
Yeah. One comes to mind immediately, and it was actually a meeting my freshman year. One of my first meetings in the fall camp, I believe. And I don't know how it started, but it got to where we had every coach ran down to the stage of the meeting floor with their shirt off and started flexing.
What?
And it was
the coaches?
Yeah, and we got like every coach to get up there and start flexing, and everybody, the whole team was going crazy, and we literally every single coach took a turn and went up there, and I don't know, it was
that's so funny,
the funniest thing ever.
We got to find the security camera footage of that or something. That's why.
Yeah, proof for it didn't happen.
Yeah, right. All right, Mason, how about you? That's a tough one to top.
Yeah, that is definitely tough, but there's not really any specific memories or stories that I have, but definitely after some big wins or the national championship in 2024 was a really good time. But yeah, I would say after the games, like just hanging out with the boys were the best times. Yeah.
Yeah, as it always is. Now, off the football field, take you away a little bit. It's a bye weekend or, it's the summertime. You guys don't have practice. What's the kickback hobby of choice for you in the off time?
Yeah, right now it's definitely been pickleball. Me and Mason have been playing a lot. It's super fun to play with the coaches too. Like we get TA and Rock in there, and everybody's super competitive. So
No, not football. No, you're not competitive right now.
yeah, it's no joke in there. There's a lot of serious games going on, but yeah, that and golf, I would say, are my two go-to hobbies outside of football.
Did you guys say you're better than TA at pickleball?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. TA's probably going to have to challenge you now.
He would definitely have something to say about that.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I am, but he would definitely say something other, like, different.
Is that the same hobby for you, pickleball?
Yeah, I would say my hobbies are definitely pickleball and golf. I also like to play basketball more. That's always been my sport. And then just hanging out with friends, hanging out with the boys, just hanging out, having a good time. I like to tube down the river in the summers.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a great time. And then, yeah, just hanging out with the boys.
Okay. Muskegon River, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Where's the starting point of choice?
Either by Gypsy Nickel or North End Riverside Park.
Okay. Yeah. And how far you go?
We'll usually drop a car off or a truck, like, what's it called? High Bank?
Yes.
High Bank?
Yeah, Park, yeah.
Across the river. Yeah. Okay. Right on.
What are you guys studying at Ferris and why?
I'm studying education, specifically secondary social studies. So I'd become like a high school history teacher or like economy or political science or something like that. Right now I'm doing like my 40 hours of observation. So I'm just observing what's going on in the classroom and then teaching lessons too. So my parents have always been teachers and I've always looked up to them, and I feel like it's definitely not a bad career to go into.
Would you coach too? Or? Yeah,
I'd probably coach or ref. Currently right now, what I do is I ref, like on the side for a little bit of cash.
Wonderful. What school are you observing at, just out of curiosity?
I was in Cadillac, which is a little bit far, but it was still good observations and good experience so far.
Wonderful. Yeah. Charlie, how about you?
Yep. I'm studying finance, and it's kind of random how I got into it. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at first when I got here. So it took me a year or two to decide, and then kind of just had some good connections in finance through my family that got me interested in it. And so, I decided to go with that. And I really enjoyed it. It suits me well. I'm more of a analytical type of person, so I work well with the numbers and everything. So I've been liking it so far.
For sure. Now, what's the most exciting part for you guys heading into the spring game? Whether it's actually playing on the field, the experience, like what about the spring game, especially this year being a night game, that excites you guys?
Yeah, I think the nighttime atmosphere definitely excites me. Just playing under the lights makes it more like high school football. And then I'll actually be like playing a decent amount in the spring game, hopefully. So that's one thing that excites me. And then after the national championship parade, it's going to be a good time too. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll just be observing this spring game, but I'm super excited to watch the young guys play. It's always fun because you don't get to see these guys go at it in a full-on live scrimmage very often. So a lot of guys will get a chance to prove themselves, and it's always exciting. There's going to be some guys that surprise people for sure and make some good plays.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and I know like the community has been really looking forward to this game as well. I mean, I feel like the whole town of Big Rapids loves football, of course. So what does it mean to you guys to have such like a strong like fan base that supports you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely like really comforting to know that we have a great city in Big Rapids and great community to support us. Just local businesses. We're doing a fundraiser right now.
Yeah, talk about it.
So just like reaching out to them and getting support from them is really great. And we're doing a lift-a-thon on May 1st at Factory Gym. So if you guys want to come out and watch, we'd love to have you. Also, if you'd love to donate, we would love that too. I don't know how we could get that. Maybe like a link in the description, maybe.
Shameless plug. Yeah. For sure. Charlie, how about you?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. Big Rapids is definitely a smaller town, but it makes it so that we can have a more personal connection with, a lot of the people that are from around here. They'll see us in the town. I'm wearing like a Ferris shirt, and a lot of times people will come up to me and talk to me about it. So it's really cool to, get to know some of the Ferris fans on a personal level and talk to them. Yeah,
for sure. How this podcast exists.
Definitely makes you feel loved.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Last question before you go. We ask everybody on the show, what's your favorite thing about being here at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
My favorite thing is just the Bulldog pride and the Bulldog reputation nationally. As you can see, like Trinidad has definitely put Ferris on the map. And I feel like Ferris State has a really good reputation nationally at this point, definitely in football too. and also in other careers as well. So definitely that. And then the brotherhood that we have, and how close knit all the student athletes are and other students are, and how we just enjoy having like a good time together. I would say those are my favorite things about being a Bulldog.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I would say my favorite thing is just, getting to be a winner. I've always been super competitive, and to have 3 national championship rings is just insane. So I would say that's my favorite part. And then obviously I love the team too. It is the most like connected team that I've ever been a part of. Everybody is close, and it's a special thing to be a part of for sure.
Wonderful. Well, Charlie, Mason, thank you guys for joining us here on the show, and we'll see you next week for the spring game.
Yep. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Tatum.
Big thanks to Charlie and Mason for joining us here on the show. Next week, spring game, as well as a parade. If you see them, shout them out. Say, hey, we watched you on the podcast. You did a good job.
Yeah, and I definitely think that they love the community support and like interacting with everyone. So definitely make sure you shoot them a wave or say hey to them. And I'm just excited to see like the guys play this spring. I feel like last time we really saw was the national championship. I know they've been practicing, working hard. So it'll be cool to see some new faces on the field.
Football is back.
Yep.
And in Big Rapids, that's a reason to
back
celebrate.
For the weekend.
Back we go. Speaking of which, many teams back in action here this weekend. Let's start with the Ferris State Sports Slate. Friday, April 17th, a day late if you're listening on the radio. Track and field will be in Rochester at the Elaine Lehigh Invitational. That will be there at Oakland, I believe. Men's and women's golf, GLIAC championships this weekend. Good luck to Coach Stark's squad. We'll be able to chat with them here later on next week, potentially the week to follow. Track and field will continue on Saturday. Women's golf as well to continue on. Women's and men's tennis, home. Women's at 10, men's at 2 at the Racket Center against Wayne State. Big time matchups there for both of those squads to really start to round out their GLIAC tennis season. So that's going to be quick, fast, in a hurry. Sunday, women's golf continues in the GLIAC championships. Monday, Bulldogs softball will be traveling to Wayne State. This is a date and time change from early on this week. It will not be Saturday. It will be on Monday, April 20th, of course, due to the rainfall with the fields having to take care of them. So 2:30 and 4:30 softball will also be at Saginaw Valley on Tuesday, April 21st for softball action. And then Thursday, April 23rd for our next episode, women's and men's tennis will be in GLIAC play, as well as stunt nationals will be taking place. And so a lot of great things on deck.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we had a great last week with a lot of great wins. So hopefully we can have the same thing for this weekend, and make sure you guys are supportive and loud and proud.
Lots of W's.
Yes.
We certainly hope. It's going to be a great week. Be sure to subscribe, whatever you follow along with as well. Good luck to all of those that are finishing up your final exams here very soon, as well as very excited to see who wins our awards next week at the Dog Show.
Oh, yeah.
Very exclusive party. Should be a lot of fun.
Make sure you guys go and vote for stuff if you haven't yet.
Yeah, I think voting is pretty much like coming down to the wire, right?
Yeah, I think it's linked in the Instagram bio. So.
Okay, you know where to go. Link in bio at Behind_Bulldogs for more information.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week here on Behind the Bulldogs.